We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Well, voters in 5 states will cast ballots in primary elections today, including Arizona. And just a reminder, throughout the day, you can count on us to bring you up-to-the-minute coverage on air, online, and on our KYMA app. Well, Arizona will be in the national spotlight in November as a presidential battleground and the home of one of the most closely watched Senate contests in the country. But Tuesday's primary features few big-ticket contests as well. So at the state level, there is a realistic prospect that voters will give Democrats control of the Arizona Senate for the first time in nearly 3 decades, and control of the Arizona House for the first time in more than half a century. All right, so here at home, voting centers are now open, and registered voters in Yuma County can go to any of the 9 vote center locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. tonight to cast their ballot. Now, just a reminder, face coverings or masks and social distancing will be required today. If you received an early ballot by mail but have not sent it back yet, you can visit one of the 4 mail ballot drop-off boxes throughout the county or drop it off at any vote center today. Now, early ballots must be received by Yuma County Voter Services by 7 p.m. tonight, and voter identification is required to vote. So we do have a full list of polling places on our Decision 2020 page. Just log on to kyma.com. So here is a list of some different locations where you can vote today. Remember, we also have this on our website as well. So first of all, in Yuma County, these are some of the locations here. The Yuma Civic Center is a mega center, as well as the St. John Newman Catholic Church. If you are in Somerton, you can go to Somerton Middle School. And in San Luis, the locations open to you are the Cesar Chavez Cultural Center and the San Luis Library. Taking a look at some of the regional races, the one to watch out for today, Republican Senator Martha McSally faces a challenge from businessman Daniel McCarthy, who is running to her right with an anti-government message in an appeal to voters who think the response to the pandemic is infringing on individual freedoms. But he's not well known and has spent little money to introduce himself to voters. Of course, voting centers just opened, so we probably won't have any early numbers just yet, as you see here. And Mark Kelly, a retired astronaut and the husband of former U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords, faces only a write-in opponent for the Democratic nomination. A McSally and Kelly contest would pit 2 former combat pilots against each other to the race to finish the last 2 years of John McCain's last term in the Senate. Now, McCain died in 2018, and McSally was appointed to the seat and faces a tough battle to hold on to it. And a 5-term Republican from Arizona's Northwestern Congressional District, Paul Gosar, was endorsed by President Trump and questions the partisan loyalty of his GOP opponent, Anne Marie Ward, who is making her first run for office. Now, Ward says Gosar has not done enough in Congress on the district's top issues, education and healthcare. So she criticizes him for voting against bills to combat the opioid crisis and supports farmers in the district. Now, moving on in the Democratic race for Congress in District 4, we do have Delina DeSanto against Stuart Starkey. And in the GOP race for Arizona District 3, we have Daniel Wood pitted against Richard Jolly right here. And in District 13 GOP House race, there was a time when it looked like former state lawmaker Steve Montenegro was headed to Congress, but then the Family Values candidate got himself caught up in a sexting scandal involving a staff member at the state Senate. But this year, he's attempting to come back, and he's trying to unseat one of the 2 incumbents, Tim Dunn and Joanna Osborne, to move on to the November election. All right, before we get to our local races, here's a look at some of the stories making headlines in our area. Yuma Regional Medical Center has laid off more than 24 employees